Hello and welcome. Welcome one and all. Welcome ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, AFL fans from around the world. Welcome to the AFL Advisors Award evening of season 2021. I am Rich, of course, of the AFL Armchair Advisors. Joining me on this most prestigious of nights, this night of nights, you might even want to call it, is of course the compare whom no one else shall compare. It is Sensible Dan. How are you, fella?
I'm feeling awardy, mate.
Awardy?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling pretty golden.
Are you feeling awardy Jobert?
Absolutely, yeah. Feeling good. It's the end of the season, or coming to the end of the season.
Indeed.
And, yeah, we're going to be here tonight delivering some delicious awards for the fans.
We certainly shall be. We have got a good 7 to 12 courses lined up for all of you AFL fans out there listening and watching on YouTube and on the podcast. Speaking of, please click that like and subscribe button down the bottom there. If you're on the pod, jump on YouTube because you're missing out on so much more. A lot of terrible looking shite, let's be honest, because that's what we do here.
But three hot boys.
Three hot boys, and we've talked about two of them. Let's get to the third. It is the Global Village Idiot. It is Australia's answer to Carrot Top. Yeah, if you know who Carrot Top is.
Yes.
Indeed. It is, of course, Australia's greatest journalist. It is Desmond Van Bus. How are you, Des?
I'm fantastic. Looking forward to something a little bit different. As you can see, I've got the looking a bit dapper. We're all looking a little bit dapper.
Cleaned up
Looks
well,
much
boys.
better than the zebra skin / polar bear / furzy.
Well,
slash,
No, I don't know about that.
No.
I don't know that it's better.
Depends who you talk to,
It's
really.
just different.
Yeah.
That's it. That is it. But I'm looking forward to some awards, and I've got some very special awards for you tonight. And I've gone off the cuff here, and later in the show, I've got some special awards for a special award night scramble.
He did tell me about this, and it's something.
I'm not happy already.
It's something.
I'm really not happy already.
I'm excited.
So obviously, look, there's one match left. We've done prelims. There's a grand final left, and that will be next week's show. Everyone else is doing awards. Why can't we?
Yeah.
All Australians been presented.
Yeah.
Brownlow's coming. You've got the Met Gala in America that's we just come off the back of that.
And holy dooly.
I mean,
Wasn't there some trash there?
it's like a race to the bottom. Who can dress like the biggest fruit bat going? And that's what gets talked about.
If it was up to me, it'd be 3 votes. K. Kardashian.
Oh, did you see
Locked in.
Did you see M Fox?
No.
Yeah.
What she was wearing?
Oh,
No, there wasn't much on M Fox.
No, there was not.
Yes, I did see that.
Got many people in trouble tonight. M Fox. did.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. But
Not bad.
But she looked like Homer Simpson when he was draped in that see-through shower curtain,
And I rated
and
it.
it gave her sexual powers.
Well,
gave Machine Gun Kelly sexual
absolutely
powers.
it did.
Oh, hooly dooly. Well, look, the fashions might not be as ridiculous as what the Met Gala is, but the awards most certainly will be. Now, before we get to the awards, we have done a preview. Yeah,
I think we're going to raise a glass, boys. We're going to raise a glass before. If you're watching on,
Let's raise a glass.
crack a beer, crack a bit of Grenache.
Yeah, a crack of Grenache.
And
Here's
a
to
little
the
bit of the
fans.
bubbly.
I only drink wine if I snorkel it, so beer for me.
Now, before we get into the awards, the meat and potatoes of tonight's show, we have done a little season review of every team that has thus far bombed out. We've got 2 more to do after the weekend. We have to look at the Cats and we have to look at Port. We shall leap into a quick little 2-minute recap of the Geelong Cats. You ready, Desmond?
I'm ready to rumble.
Let's go. What did you think of the Cats this year?
Arguably the favourites all year. Everyone kind of had a little bit of a hinkling that they would
A hinkling.
a hinkley, and we'll talk about that later. The Cats were going to do really well in September, bringing in Jezza, and Jezza played well when he played. Injury bug. I think they just were hurt by the injury bug throughout the season, and that come to kind of bite them towards the end of the year because really the last kind of month or so they haven't looked like a threat, which is unfortunate for them, and they've got a lot of questions to answer. I think it hasn't been a horrible year.
Injuries to key personnel at poor times, and especially if that bug that they supposedly caught, stomach bug that hit a lot of the boys, you can't make that an excuse because if you put your hand up to play, you declare yourself fit and firing, but it doesn't help.
Well, Tommy Stewart going down, I'm going to name names, but Tommy Stewart going down, I think that was the turning point of their season.
But one man, a team does not make.
Well, Tui was out as well. So Tui, Tom, Batman, and Robin, and I think that 1-2 punch of what's their name?
Batman and
What
Robin.
can we say? Oh, I'm going to try and come up with a funny name. Tui and Stewart.
Well,
Stewie.
Heard him bad. But
I mean, to me, Tom Stewart, fantastic player, probably my favourite player in the whole league. It's not the sole reason.
Is the cliff here?
Yes.
Selwood, danger.
Yep, done.
I would have thought.
This team's done, mate. And not only that, all the youths now want out as well. And guess what? They haven't been playing, so you're going to be getting pennies on the dollar.
I would have thought so.
Because no one's going to be paying up for kids that aren't playing AFL.
No, untried.
I think this team's dust. They're absolutely dust. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Scott throws their hands up and says, well, I'm out of here.
What if the club throws the hands up like they did with Bomber and preempt it?
Could do. I don't think, like I said, to me, this is the end. I think the parting of ways has to occur from both sides anyway. Chris Scott can't get the job done in Geelong and all the players there are too old. So move on. Get started on 2025 premiership, maybe.
I genuinely think this man has hit the nail on the head. Yeah. Let us transfer over to Port Adelaide right now. Fellas, I don't think any of us saw that one coming.
Oh, wow.
I do not. But you know what? The second that the SA government said to the doggies, no, you're not allowed to train at the Oval, I was like, it's perfect. It's all perfect here. It is the perfect lead-in. Everything's going against the Dogs, which means, due to the laws of every sports movie ever, the Dogs are going to win. And when they did. Where does Port go from here? I don't think the end of the cliff's turned up, just like it has for Geelong. No. I genuinely think they are missing another key midfielder to help out with Wines, and because Boat looked every one of his 33 years on the weekend. They need another blue chip mid, and they need it bad.
What they really need is a clean ball user. Boat's not clean. Wines is getting better, but not great.
It's not his skill set.
Willem Drew is not a clean ball user.
Just a jobber.
Power pep. This report, you're exactly right. The chat about Jordan Dawson, perfect kind of player for him. Doesn't play inside, which is probably what they do need a bit more help with, but he's that clean boot, great entries into 50. I think that would be a perfect pickup for him.
They need a merit. I honestly think they need a merit in addition to that Jordan Dawson who could play that role that Jared Polek should have played had he decided to be the footballer that we thought that he was going to be. But I don't look, Port just needs to make a few little tweaks and adjustments. And the other thing for them, I genuinely feel like Port's issue is up here. Yeah, it's all up here.
I personally think this finals loss, because we all watched it and it was an absolute drubbing and I personally loved it. But in putting an unbiased hat on, I think this loss, and think of Richmond last year, Richmond only beat them and really they shouldn't have beat them. But losing 2 prelims in a row, and then in this most recent one, you weren't in it at all. You weren't in it. It was a training drill. Like Bev was holding up 6A, and the players and Baz was looking, going.
Or is that the classroom he was looking in?
Yeah, that's
different Bev.
You know what I'm talking about.
But you get what I'm saying. The psychological. It's damaging. That is damaging for young players. It's literally PTSD.
As you rightly said, I know we've just gone over the 2 minutes, but it is going to come down to mindset now. That's a terrible loss, terrible way to end your season of what was full of so much promise. It's going to be down to them now to bring the mindset back to neutral, go into this off-season fresh and come out firing in 2022.
Strongly agree. And we have seen Port in the past lose prelim. And what happened in 04? Grandy.
My thing with that is, I think the only way they do that is by getting rid of Hinkley. And I don't like Hinkley anyway, but getting rid of Hinkley and having a fresh face in, I feel like that can he can take all the damage that huge loss carries with it.
Bit of chat on that this week. I don't know.
I'm
50-50 on this.
I'm not saying sack him. I'm saying just for the mental edge of, we're going into a prelim final and we have Ken Hinkley. What has he done for us in the past? Not much.
I don't think you can blame Ken as much as you need to blame the players. There's a strategy aspect, but the players didn't rock up.
I mean, I've spoken to my dad about this. Big Port fan, he is.
Old type Pete.
I think a bit of blame is on everyone. The coach has got to get the players ready, but the players have got to be ready to go out.
I agree too. I agree on that, but I just think that someone needs to take the blame for the players, and Ken's going to be the one that has to do it. But I hope he stays, because
quick shout out to Hamish Hartley. Great career at Port. Hopefully he continues on next year.
Like Hannah.
Someone to pick him up.
Absolutely.
Gold Coast.
So,
Essendon.
Hawthorn. They got rid of Birchall.
Yeah. Do you know what? That'd be nice.
Sorry, Hawthorn. Birchall, Brisbane.
I was going to say.
They like plug and playing old blokes in the back
and he's
line.
not quite old enough for Geelong yet, so.
Another decade he'll get there. Alrighty. Now, speaking of, we just ran through a couple of different teams there, a couple of very good players in Wines and Boak and Selwood and Guthrie, etc., etc. I think, fellas, it would be prudent of us at this point just a little bit quick BNF. We're starting to get into the club BNFs now. It's that time of the year where those best and fairest awards, they're going down. Wouldn't mind getting your opinions on some BNFs, who you thought has been the far and away best player for each of the clubs. You don't have to dwell too long on it. Just punch through.
Easy.
Yeah. Dan, you want to kick us off? Adelaide.
I do, and this one's very easy for me. Rory Laird. Great season, moved into the midfield, first time ever, and just dominated.
Job done.
Dominated. So
All Australian.
Not much more to say on that one for me.
Straight up and down on that one. What do you think about Brisbane?
I like Lions.
Yep.
Lions. What was it? What did he come in the count? Like third or something in their best and fairest. McCluggage
Second.
is a fair second, but Lions far out. An ex-Crom.
Very handy player.
You can't change my mind on that.
Most consistently damaging mid that they had all year, I think.
Superb.
McCluggage was great in the front end, tailed off. Lions stayed at it. Carlton, this one's very obvious. Best and fairest for Carlton, Sam Walsh.
Slammer Sam and Jammer.
Sam Walsh, Daylight, whoever else you want to name. Maybe Mackay. Maybe.
Only because he won the Coleman.
Yeah,
really. Wasn't a great year, though.
Yeah, but that's fair. Like any bloke that wins a
I
Coleman
agree.
effort. But look, Walsh is turning into the complete midfielder.
Absolutely.
I don't see a flaw in the kid's game where he sits at the age of 20.
Added goal kicking to his resume this year as well. A few games. We even kicked 3 in one game.
Yeah. Nasty against the Pies.
Easy BNF for mine. What do you think about Collingwood, Dan?
This was actually a tough decision for me. I went Jack Crisp for the first, because I split this up a little bit, because Jack Crisp thought he had a great year, very versatile, moved into the midfield to cover out a few blokes who were ailing. But I also really liked the way Maynard went about it this year as well. Didn't stat up as much as last year, but with Darcy Moore going down, he had to do a bit more one-on-one work, and I thought he was very apt at it.
Hopefully Crows chuck the book at him in the next
I would love a bit of Bruzzy at the Crom.
And I would be stunned if that happened. I don't think it will. But what do you think about Essendon?
Oh, it's got to be Darcy Parish.
You reckon?
Oh, he's been superb all year. Bombers have been the unsung heroes of the year. Parish. Parish.
I like that you haven't gone with the media darling Jake Stringer on this one. Because any man and his dog will tell you, because Jake Stringer played about 4 good games at the back end.
Can't play 5 or 6 good games and win over Des.
Boom.
Darcy Parish, fantastic all year. I've been waiting for it. I like Darcy Parish.
Were you tempted to buy Merritt?
No. Darcy Parish has been better. Darcy Parish has just been better. Like, in every way.
More damaging, certainly.
And that's my point.
I'm with you on that one. Look, very easy for mine for free. Actually, I say easy. I found it easy. Everyone's going to disagree with me on this one. Okay. Now, conventional wisdom would say either Brayshaw or Mundy. I'm saying Sean Darcy, BNF for mine.
I like that.
He was the linchpin for everything, for all of their attacking thrusts this year. He came from the clouds, arguably in the conversation for best 3 ruckman in the league. You could certainly make that argument. He was getting touches. His around the ground play was unbelievable. He could kick goals. He was winning taps. Big, strong man. All of a sudden had the complete game to go with it. It's got to be Darcy for mine.
I actually rate that pick highly. Mate.
I had Brayshaw, but you've won me over here.
There you go.
Equal for me.
I'll have that. What about Hawks, Dan?
Well, if I could pick no one, I'd pick no one. But it has to be Titch. It has to be Titch. He had another great season this year. Coming off a rough trot last year.
It was.
So yeah, it's pretty hard not to go with him.
Stat pig. The stat pig. He was always going to come home with that one, I'd have thought. Geelong, Desi.
The Catters. I like Tom Stewart.
Yep, well,
I think Tom Stewart's been the most, in regards to most consistent. If I was to toll up each or look at each game and go and give him the Brownlow vote system, Tom Stewart. He's been fantastic all year.
I'd agree with that.
I also had Guthrie quite high in my estimations, but Tom Stewart.
Guthrie had a couple of injuries in there, so that's where I'm just thinking that if I was to go from a whole year perspective, I would go.
And I think if you were going to go on what you were saying earlier, when Stewart left the lineup, that's when Geelong really went into the poo-poos. Yep. When Guthrie left the team, it was just like, oh well. Play on. Next man up.
Where's Mitch Duncan? Yeah. GWS. Kieran Briggs. No, I'm just I like Kieran Briggs though. Look, Josh Kelly, I think, repaid the faith. They courted him. He could have gone back home, didn't, stayed with them, and in return for that, it seemed like his form really sort of did that bounce. When GWS hit that flat spot, man kept motoring straight through it. Most damaging ball user. Taranto came in, Taranto went out. Toby Green went in, Toby Green went out.
Doggy.
Yeah, Hopper was good in patches. Yep. Perryman was good in patches. Kelly.
There was always one consistent player throughout the whole year.
Kelly.
And consistent and just the best player of the year. I agree.
Bloody oath. Gold Coast, Dan.
Took Miller next.
Yeah. Chonk.
It was as easy as that, isn't it?
Look, he had an amazing season. Amazing. And to be honest with you, I genuinely would not be surprised if he finishes in top 3 in
Genuine
the Brownlow.
smoking.
Like, he can't win it. Suspended, obviously, earlier on in the year. But
imagine if he did.
He had, like, as the man says in the advert, what a blinder.
True.
Absolute blinder.
True. If he did win it, I think he would, if he did poll the highest, he would be, I think, the first bloke since Daniel Kerr to win the polling but be ineligible due to suspension.
Nasty.
Hope it doesn't happen for him. Now, Melbourne. Desmond.
Oh, Clary. Clary, Petrarca started... Well, Petrarca is Petrarca. Like, Petrarca should be a word in the dictionary. If you're watching this show, I don't need to describe Christian Petrarca to you.
No, indeed.
And he turned out... I didn't know who was Batman and who was Robin. Petrarca's Robin.
Not bad.
Nice, isn't it?
To Clary's Batman.
And no love for Gordon? No?
Clary.
That would have actually been the toughest one for me to pick. If you forced me to pick one of those three, hard.
You can have two.
I love them all. I love them all.
If you said you can keep two, you got to delist one, you genuinely battle.
Absolutely.
You genuinely battle.
Death.
I couldn't do it.
No, I've got North
retire.
Melbourne. I've got North Melbourne. I've got a bit of a left field one for you. Certainly when it comes to the pollsters, we'll get into that a bit later on. Aaron Hall.
I liked Aaron Hall, but I like Zeeble. Purely because the spirit he has when they were getting absolutely smashed, you've got to take that. That's worth 4 votes.
Absolutely.
I genuinely did think that, but I thought
Aaron Hall has had a good year though.
Well, in terms of being damaging and that actual positive rebound out of their back line, like he was generating so many linking plays, even though things fell apart in the middle of the ground and then the front end of the ground. You can't say that was due to Aaron Hall. Like he played his best season bar none for North.
Easily.
BNF for mine all day.
Easily. Love that.
Port, Adelaide.
Now, obviously, Ollie Wines is the pick here, but I did want to again split it up because I was really impressed by one of their defenders this year, Trent McKenzie, super boot.
Interesting. That's a left field call.
Had a great season. He often plays a sort of Dane Rampy role where he's a little bit undersized but takes the big guy. And he was great this year, really, really good, especially for someone whose career was at a railroad and
in the doldrums,
he was dust. So he's come a long way, and I just thought I'd give him a bit of love.
And why not? Man, yeah. Also
Unreal.
a real. He will poll high for Port this year, no doubt. Richmond, Des, what do you
Maybe or Chol.
think? Come on,
Next,
come on.
No, you know, a lot of the time with Richmond, Richmond is the one team this year, and this is quite funny, that if Richmond played and they were playing their shocking football, I'd normally just switch off and watch the other game.
Mm-hmm.
So Shai Bolton had the biggest moments.
He's winging it here.
Yeah,
He's not
no.
prepared for this.
No, because
I just think Chol. All
You
I'm thinking
genuinely
of
thought Chol.
is Chol.
I mean, personally, I probably would have said Liam Baker.
Really? I was looking at Jaden Short.
Okay.
Played every single game in that midfield. Picked up the
Shai
slack
Bolton's
when
just
they were
had
going
big
in.
moments for me.
More
so
defense.
can't-
I don't know.
that's all I can say.
I don't know. Baker just versatile, gets the job done every week. I don't know. They're a workman-like team. You wouldn't say there's no standouts. That's what makes Richmond.
They don't
Richmond.
deserve a best and fairest. They've had a horrible year.
No, they've already done this. Didn't Grimes win it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Boo.
Yeah, forget that.
More Chol.
St Kilda. Jake Steele. Done.
Yep.
Easy. Daylight. Whoever you want to put second. Don't care. Jake Steele all the way.
Absolutely.
Yep. Let's have a look at Sydney, Dan.
Okay, Callum Mills. But also, because I love to double dip. It's one of my favourite things to do.
Double
Right?
dip dance.
That's him.
This man traded in at the start of the year. Tom Hickey.
I was thinking Hickey, and I thought if I said Hickey on this show, I'd just cop shit for being a disgruntled ex-ruckman myself.
Not from this man with two thumbs. Because Tom Hickey, we've all ridden him before. Terrible at some of his other stops. He was amazing at Sydney this year. Played like a really, really good ruck role, but also a defensive ruck role. He managed to keep the big dogs quiet, added a few goals in. I thought he had a great year and deserved a bit of love.
A quick side note, who do you put first, second and third when it comes to recruit of the year? Out of Hickey, Hind and Aliir.
That's real tough.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Was it Aliir's first year this year? He played last year.
Port.
At Port.
I thought he played last. No.
First year at Port.
Oh, well, Aliir's number one for me on mine. Aliir, Hind, Hickey.
Whoa, you stumped me.
Yeah, it's
I'd
good,
probably because I love Nick Hind, so I'd probably put him first, and then probably
Aliir's just been
Hickey and Aliir. I would put Aliir third purely because he had a patch in the middle of the year where he was not doing much at all. That's tough though.
It's a good one.
They're unreal though.
Yep.
Good on them.
No, all three of them done very well. Let's have a look at West Coast. Who do you have for the BNF at the Eagles, Desmond?
No one deserves best and fairest.
Someone must.
The Eagles. No one.
Someone must.
No one. I don't even deserve to. Nah, Nitnat on mine.
I'd nick that for
Nitnat on mine. But no, they don't deserve best and fairest. They should have. With that side, they should be competing in 2 weeks' time.
I strongly agree. Should be.
No, they shouldn't be. But
I
you know
strongly disagree. I'll fight this on anyone. I don't think that team is that good. I just don't. I'm
they're
sorry.
better than Essendon.
They've got talent. They just have not applied, and it's a shame.
To my vote, Nick Nat, Jamie Cripps had a good year as well.
Yeah, he did.
For him, yes, I strongly
He was nasty
agree.
against Adelaide when I watched him live.
You could also make somewhat of an argument for Sheed, but I feel I'm with you on Nick Nat.
Yeah.
Last one, Western Bulldogs.
Bond.
No, I've not gone Bont.
Lin Jong.
Yes, I've gone Lin Jong. Thank you very much.
Doggy.
Look, you can make an argument for the Bont. You can make an argument for Bailey Smith. You can make an argument even for Libba.
I think McRae's been better than the former two.
My guy right here.
McRae needs love, and he's going to get love when he wins a flag. Maybe
All Australian.
2 weeks time.
Australian. He has had his most consistent and B most damaging season to date, combined together. And interestingly, Des, he now holds the record for most disposals by any player in a season. You cannot get that stat and not be your side's best and fairest.
Bont.
Makes sense.
I love the Bont. It's got to be McRae.
I genuinely think if McRae added a few more goals to his resume,
Oh my God.
he would
48 Brownlows.
comfortably be one of the best players in the competition. He's sort of in that zone at the moment because he doesn't kick goals and just stats up. Like some weeks he has 30 touches and everyone's like,
Yeah, next.
oh well, 30 touches.
They expect him to do that.
You put Jack McRae in 1998,
Oh my God.
they'd be like, how does this guy get 30 touches every week? This is unbelievable. 2021, everyone's like, oh, do it again.
Yeah, boring.
Get 40.
But yeah, exactly.
50.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah. Is that
Sack.
it? 30. Snore. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But he doesn't need to kick goals. That's not his role. He doesn't need to do it.
I'm just saying if he did.
If he did.
But he doesn't. But if he did.
But he could.
A few more.
And he can.
A few more, Jack.
But he won't.
For the boys.
Come on, Jack. Jeepers.
Just for the boys.
For the boys.
Jackson.
Shut up, Des. Alrighty, fellas, thank you for that one. Let us move on. We're giving some love to the players. I think it's time we come to it and we have a look at our votes for Coach of the Year. Coachy. 1 vote, 2 vote, 3 votes, and why you think they deserve to be Coach of the Year.
And just to give a shout out, because Fagan was our coach last year, Coach of the Year, I believe he was our Coach of the Year last year. So I don't think he'll be defending his title, just personally. but
this is the Chris Fagan Memorial Award.
Memorial. So
Yeah.
him dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
so if you see me writing, it's because I will be marking. There will be some tallies.
Yeah. If this would be the first time, this is an historic day. This will be the first time Desmond has ever written something down, A, with a pen, and B, on this show.
On the pod.
You watch, there's going to be 3 guys giving 3 or 6 votes each.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Alan in The Hangover. All the mathematics going on in the head.
Yeah, in his brain, whereas looking at it, it's going to look like someone...
Cat, dog, mum.
Yeah, it's going to look like someone coated a worm in ink and then sort of like shocked it a few times.
Absolutely.
And it's just crawling around.
Seeing as you're doing this,
I'm going to start off with my 1 vote.
kick us off.
Please.
1 vote for me, B. Rutten of Essendon.
I thought you were literally saying 1 vote for me there.
Yeah.
Like, coach of what?
Yeah.
No, so who gets 1 vote? Rutten. Oh, well...
Why?
Well, because Essendon was supposed to be trash. Like, Essendon were not supposed to be a good side. Young players rebuilding, really, and at the start of a rebuild. So for them to make the 8, and they did make the 8 previously, but for them to make the 8 this year, and deservedly make the 8, like they were a respectable side all year, hats off to him. Rutten in his first year, good on you, mate.
Can't argue. 1 vote, Rutten. Dan?
1 vote, Benjamin Truck Rutten.
Then,
I also had the same. I mean, very similar to answer to yours. They were expected to be shit by us, by everyone. Big Truck comes in, does wonders. Love it.
Love that. I've given my 1 vote to David Noble at North. Look,
Sympathy vote.
no, it wasn't a sympathy vote. Look, what did anyone
He
expect?
turned up. Good work, David.
No, but what did anyone expect from North this year? Precisely
What they did,
3/5 of shit all.
which is where they were.
No, but the fact that he actually managed to squeeze talent out of kids, out of blokes like Aaron Hall, who you thought, well, they got them in. Well, why? He had the stones to tell Jared Pollock to get effed. Stop being a bum. You're on big money. I'm not playing you because you're a grub.
I respect that.
Allegedly.
I respect that.
Allegedly. I'm learning from the sins of last week. Coached a few wins. He coached about 3 more wins out of them than what I suspected he would. Considering...
Look, I pulled the piss, but I don't disagree with it.
And considering what he came into with old Shorey, bless up.
Deserves a bit of love.
Bless up to the man, damn. Nah, good on David Noble. Huge scrutiny. Oh, they're going to relocate him down to Taz. Took all of it in stride, pulled out a few wins. Future's looking good for you.
Big new site down at Arden Street as well has just been approved, so they'll be getting some new facilities. They're going nowhere.
Like that.
Nowhere.
We're going nowhere.
Arden Street forever, exactly.
That is actually true.
David Bonesaw Noble.
Got you for 3 decades.
Yeah.
at least.
All right, talking about 3, my second vote is going to be for John Longmuir.
Who's that?
Say it again.
Is this Bill Brownless in the studio?
Say it again.
Longmire. Donny
You
Longmire.
still got it wrong.
Who's the coach?
Longmuir.
Oh,
No,
cool.
there's 2. There's Longmuir and Longmire.
No, Longmire from Sydney.
Okay, pause.
Longmire from Sydney. So I'm going to put M. Meyer.
L. Meyer. He's written L.
It's
Meyer.
easier. No, Longmire, because once again, very similar, and there'll be a trend in all of my coaching coach of the year this year. Sydney were not expected to do much, and Sydney were fantastic all year. And the reason he got more votes in my mind, or in my votes, than Rutten is because Sydney were considerably better, and they could have even snuck into the top 4 this year. Unreal. Good job, mate. To keep the wheel rolling for such
Reinvent on the run.
That's exactly my point.
Didn't bottom out.
Respect it. 2 votes. Bang.
Dan?
My 2 votes for Horse Longmire as well. I have a sneaky suspicion we're also going to give the 3 votes to the same person. But, not only that, I think it takes a pretty big man to let someone else like Don Pike come in and sort of revolutionise and change up the way the team's been playing for the last, decade?
It.
You know, it's good. I respect that from Horse.
2 votes, S. Goodwin.
Oh.
Simon Goodwin for mine. Now, at the start of the year, Simon Goodwin, all the pundits were coming for him saying if he doesn't pull his socks up, career's on the line, he'll be out. End of the year. Fast forward, Mans is in a grand final. I love that. And you know, he doesn't shout and scream and roar at players. He doesn't get mad in the box and vomit and punch people and pass out and all the rest of it. He's just a cool, calm, collected bloke. Managed to take a side that had this obsession with just crowding the ball carrier at every opportunity, and he showed them a new way, taught them a new way, and you saw the buy-in from the players. They believed in what he was doing, saw the value. He's got the best out of that squad. Yes, he's got a lot of talent to work with there, but he's also taken blokes that you've never heard of and wouldn't have thought would have been any good, and all of a sudden they're in the flag. Spargo, Jordan, Jake Bowie, all these sorts of operators.
He's a king, leave him alone.
And the thread that connects them all, Simon Goodwin.
No, respect it.
Plus, loves a punt, and I love that.
And that comes to my 3 votes, and that goes to S. Goodwin.
There you go.
So Simon Goodwin has taken the reins here. Nah, goody. I can't add anything more. He coached them to a flag. We said at the start of the year that Melbourne are either going to be in the top 4 or they're going to be in the bottom 4. They're going to be not like... We don't know. We just didn't know. They haven't done anything. They didn't bring anyone in. They just kept to themselves, did their thing, and now it's worked really well.
Like that, Dan?
Well, I would like to be the first man to congratulate the second inaugural Armchair Advisors Coach of the Year in Simon Goodwin, because that's where my 3 votes is going.
That's
as
beautiful,
well.
this.
Look,
Goody.
it's impossible for me anyway to go against him. I don't know what you're going to do with your 3 votes. But,
Matthew Nix, go on.
for all the reasons you've suggested, I mean, like you said, it takes a big man to get buy-in from the players, real good coach. We all wrote him off. We thought that this was the end of Simon Goodwin's tenure, potentially, if they had another bad year. He's etched himself in for another little stay.
This is very interesting, fellas. We could be looking at a photo finish because for my 3 votes, I gave it to John, the horse pipe Longmire, was who I gave it to.
And that's a real shame because looking at that maths, he loses by 1 vote.
Here's some Steiner math.
But that's tough.
At 2 votes, we have Truck Rutten. 1 vote, we got Noble.
Sure.
We got no pants Noble.
Yeah.
Longmire.
I think he does have pants.
Longmire. Well, I don't at the moment. But Longmire on 7. And we've got Goodwin on 8.
Jeepers.
So congratulations, Goody.
I think that's fair, though.
I like that a lot.
That's very fair.
That's nicely done, boys.
Give us your quick reasons for Horse. I know you've had something prepared.
Oh, look, it's pretty much everything that everyone's already said. I mean, he completely took a team that was just so focused on defensive mindedness first and foremost, and then turned them into a fast-flowing attacking team with the same personnel over the course of one summer. He's managed to squeeze the best out of blokes like Cunningham, Rowbottom, Dawson, all of these blokes that 12, 18 months prior, you're like, who, what, where, why?
And I think the difference between, obviously, our first and second choice is very slim. It's very slim.
Well,
so,
1 vote in it, I think that's
they're
fair.
fantastic. No, they're both great coaches, and they both had great years. So either or. I like to see it.
Well done, boys. I'm sure you'll be racing to pin this one up on your wall. Tell all your mates
on
about
the LinkedIn account.
All right, let's take a bit of a sideways look at things. We've given some fair and reasonable awards. I think it's time to take a bit of a left field approach to it going forward. Fellas, I'm looking at us discussing the second annual even, Buddy Franklin Award for most overrated player in the AFL. Now, last year's was won, I believe, by Buddy Franklin from memory, hence why we named the award in his honour. I think from memory, is that about right, Dan?
I believe so, correct.
I believe so. So this year, in year 2, unfortunately, Buddy's not here in person to present the award. That is a
Unfortunately,
shame.
he's had actually quite a good year. He hasn't been that.
He's not been overrated. He's had a very good year.
Overrated.
He's had a very
But
good year.
unfortunately, once the medal's named after you,
He has listened to our
So
advice.
it's already etched in there. We can't do
Exactly.
anything
Talk
about
to
that.
Vince Lombardi.
Yeah, exactly.
He might be mad as hell about it. He doesn't get a say. He doesn't get a say. Dan, who was your one vote?
Okay, so I've gone maybe a little bit left field with some of these.
I've gone
All
left
right.
field. I've gone very left.
My one vote goes to Adam Chera. Right?
Okay.
Now, I don't think there's any fault of Adam Chera's apart from the fact that he's just an average footballer.
Well, now we need to say something right here. This is the Buddy Franklin Award for most overrated. Now, that's not to say Buddy Franklin is a bad footballer. That's not to say any of these blokes are
clearly
bad
he's not.
footballers. We just maintain that we see week in, week out, so much circle jerking going on in the football media world, spheres, journalists, just knob slobbery of the highest order. And we've had a gutful. We're calling it out. If blokes might be good, but they are overrated.
Absolutely.
That's your disclaimer.
My little run-in, yeah. Look, for me, my one vote, Chera. Okay, so do I think he's a bad footballer, as you just said? No, I don't think he's a bad footballer at all. Do I think he's average? Absolutely.
Yep.
We've been hearing a lot of chat about him going to Carlton. Just what Carlton needs. Nice, clean, inside midfielder. Is he what they actually need, though?
No, they need a lot of things.
Because I don't think they do. So he's a clean midfielder, right? Good disposal efficiency. So I looked it up today. Disposal efficiency, below average. All right?
About 65% somewhere in there?
Yeah, it isn't. It's 68.
Oh, okay.
Kicking efficiency, average. Why are we getting in a midfielder that's no better than what you've already got and probably trading 2 first-round picks to do so?
How funny.
Doesn't make any sense to me. So, again,
Dockers.
not a knock on Adam Chera.
No.
This is more so a knock on the Carlton Football Club and the way it's run. But yeah, one vote for me.
One vote I've given to Sam Collins this year at Gold Coast. And again, a bit of a left field one, but he's been lauded as being the absolute best defender in that Gold Coast unit. Arguably all Australian. I've heard a couple of operators within the Fox Footy Halls refer to Collins in glowing terms. Yes, he's done well in terms of a one-on-one lockdown perspective. Marks, kicks, disposals. Are we seeing any Tom Stewart-like rebounding play coming out of the back line? Nope. No, we're not. He might be a very competent lockdown defender. Is he Gold Coast's best defender and an asset and a prize to be cherished above all others? I'm sorry, I don't believe so. So Sam Collins, given one vote.
I'm giving this to an entire team, and it is the Geelong Football Club.
But
The Geelong Cats.
a break with tradition.
Weird.
Overrated, baby.
I don't mind
Overrated.
it. Don't hate
Just
it.
the entire team is overrated. And I know they're not going to. I'm breaking the tradition because I know they're not going to win it. But they will be etched in history in the voting because they were overrated all year. They had no chance of winning the flag. They even suckered me in. No chance of winning the flag. They're just a bunch of old babies.
Fair.
So
Bunch
Cats
of
getting my
old
one.
babies.
Cats getting my
If
one.
the shoe fits. So there's a bit of a Geelong flavour to the rest of my votes now, which is
like it.
five.
I like
Five votes. All right.
Jeepers.
Number 2. So I don't think he's rated highly by the general AFL population, but he's certainly rated highly by the Cat. And I can't figure out why. This man is Luke Dalhouse.
Do I just give the Cats the 2 ticks there or just Dalhouse?
That's technically 2 for Dahl at this point.
Dalhouse is running away with this.
I would have thought, yeah.
So every week he's in the team, right? Pressure forward. Looked up his stats. Pressure rating. Low. Below average. Doesn't kick goals either. So he's a small forward who doesn't pressure and doesn't kick goals. So what exactly does he do?
He was at the Dogs once.
Cool. He also had dreadlocks, and that's when I did like
That was
him.
cool.
He had long hair.
He's
yeah.
like a crap Grind Myers.
So again, not overrated by wider
Imagine putting
AFL
that on your
media.
resume.
Because I don't think wider AFL media thinks he's a great player, and with good reason. But for whatever reason, the Cats do, and I don't get it.
I'm cutting in.
Go.
2 votes. Dixon.
Interesting.
Charles
Worth.
Tickler.
Charles
Because I've said this, and all my mates are Port fans, and I've said, and they don't even get triggered, and they don't even get triggered at this, but everyone else that I talk to seems to get triggered, which is maybe why he's not getting the 3 chocolates, he's only getting the 2.
I think Port fans know though.
But if
I think
Port
Port-
had
I know
a key
some of the ones
forward-
I know, they will swear till they're blue in the
if Port
face.
had a key forward
Some
that
of the ones I
wasn't
know
Dixon,
don't.
they would win the flag. And they would be very close to winning a flag. But they've got Charlie Dixon, and they love him. They love him. Why?
Shizen.
Why? Sucks. That's all I'm saying.
Sucks.
Fair assessment.
For my 2
I'm
votes.
sure that was on his scouting report when he was 17
sucks
years old.
with an X as well. Sucks, cocks,
Yes.
and dicks.
Dick son.
2 votes. I gave to Adam Chera. Funnily
Hey,
enough.
there you go.
I went through his stats. All the chat in the last couple of weeks has been, Melbourne.
This could be on here.
And Luke Jackson's been talked about in.
That was the most outrageous thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean,
Luke Jackson for Adam Chera, please.
I mean, imagine someone who thinks that they're better than you, but is demonstrably worse than you in every single way. Came up to you and said, "Hey, mate, I would trade you a slice of that very fine-looking pizza you've got there in exchange for this 3-day-old banana skin."
For this cigarette butt.
Yeah,
I'll give
that
you
I've
a
licked.
Ted for a sip of that Grenache.
Correct. It's these are not
Boo.
apples for apples. Even if one is missing all of his teeth, I don't care.
Yeah, but he's a football guy. He loves his football.
I love Luke Jackson. No, mate, I'm repeating exactly what you were saying. Adam Cherry here. Look, elite, worth 2 first-round picks, pick 5, blah, all the rest of it. I mean, what 23 disposals? I think on average for the year. That is smack bang average.
That's fine. That's fine.
Disposal efficiency, pass. Thanks very much. Averaging 8 contested possessions a game. I'm sorry if I'm giving up 2 first-round picks
For an inside midfielder.
that gets 8 contested posies a game. I just need more. I'm sorry. The dude is overrated from what he's dishing up, and he's well within his rights to dish up this sort of stuff on a weekly basis. But if you're AFL media and clubs who are thinking he is the next best thing since sliced bread,
Boo.
Sucks.
All right,
as
3
man once
votes,
said.
Dan. Let's get on to it.
Sorry, my 3 votes.
go for it.
I did say a Geelong flavour. All right. And now, this is a career body of work, not just this season.
I see where this is going.
I know
This
who
is
it's gonna
lumbering
be.
towards me.
It's Chris Scott.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's Chris Scott. Okay. Winningest coach in AFL history. Cool, that's awesome. He must have won a lot of flags. How many has he won, Des?
1. And it doesn't count in my mind. Bomber.
We've had this argument.
Bomber.
I agree.
So 1.
That sucks. He's overrated. Massively overrated. It's all well and good winning in March, April, May, June, July, August. When you get to September is when it really matters.
Correct.
I don't care how many minor premiership flags you got hanging up at the Cattery because they mean nothing.
Bow.
Overrated.
Well, I'm going to cut in because
Hit me
I've
with
just
the 3.
seen yours and it
Hit
makes
with
me
the
laugh.
3. Hit me with the 3.
Ken Hinkley.
No! No!
Ken Hinkley.
This is an
We're
outrage.
staring down the barrel of a 6-way tie here.
It is going to be
Hinks.
that, and it's a funny one though.
Thanks.
We're gonna have to get together 44 medals for the Geelong team.
Ken Hinkley. No.
Darla's getting 2.
Boo. But he's not a
Well,
premiership,
look,
he's not a premiership coach.
Geelong will prefer that because if you win a premiership, only the players that play get their medals.
They want the buddy medal.
We're giving it to everyone. VFL club, everyone. Everyone's getting rings.
I strongly agree.
I just think Ken Hinkley's extremely overrated. That's it.
You know what? Short and sweet and to the point.
3 votes.
And I dare say there is a lot of true believers out there that would be strongly agreeing
Yep,
with
come
that.
at me.
3 votes. I go to Charles Dixon.
Oh.
Right, I did.
We have a winner.
I've been maintaining this.
Hot dog. We have a winner.
I saw him come up with
Yeah,
it already.
sorry.
He had a picture of
No,
him.
this is me not beating up on a man. And again, like Dixon is a perfectly cromulent forward.
No, he's not.
He,
Cromulent. Don't say that.
No, it's good.
There's
It's
nothing
sort
to
of-
do with the crom.
No, look, okay, let's be real. So he is ended up like 5th or 6th in the Coleman, somewhere in there. So he wasn't some low level munter that couldn't get his hands on the peel. And Port fans are there. Oh, but he takes marks and he gets the ball to ground. And no, but he's averaging 2 goals a game. Yeah, they're junk time goals. When did his goals come? During that preliminary final, and that that game summed up Dixon's season thus far for me. Those 2 goals came at the back end of
Season.
season.
Career?
Yeah,
Because I mean,
I strongly agree. Yeah, he had 2 jump time
I
goals.
haven't voted for him, but I'm right behind this.
But he had 1 goal in the last. He had 1 goal in the third, and they were at points where the game was done and dusted. But where was he early on, stamping his authority? And then he kicks 2 goals, and he's flexing the pythons and bellowing like a bull.
Not Hulk Hogan, mate.
What's that doing?
Not an overrated rig though.
Yeah.
He's got a good
Oh,
setup.
he's
Man's
good.
got
He's-
huge pipes.
Good setup.
But
Well,
then,
see, the thing-
no, this is not me digging into a bloke for being a shite player. Again, media will come back and
Overrated.
tell us that he is overrated, and they'll come back and say, "Oh, he's just elite key forward,
Phenom.
Charles Dixon, yeah, phenomenal, oh, unbelievable, King Charles." That was the nickname getting around last year.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, his season this year has been not as great as what the pundits will tell you it was. Big time overrated for mine. 3 votes.
Well, congratulations, Charlie. I'll send that one to you on Instagram. Now it's time for the real awards. I've got some awards here. I'm not going to be answering any of these awards though because I have the same brain as a Brussels sprout. So I've actually got 12 awards here, and we're going to rapid fire. We're going to quickly answer these.
This is a scramble by any other name. This is what this is. He's shoehorned. He's slipped. He's Trojan horsed us.
Yes.
He's Trojan
It's
horsed us.
worked. It's worked.
I have, and we're going to start off What? Actually, I'm going to tell the fans what we're going to do. I'm going to list some awards. I've named some awards and I've given some reasoning to those awards. So, for example, we had the Buddy Franklin Award, which is for the most overrated player. I've got 12. I'm going to ask one to Dan, one to Rich, and we're going to have a good time. So I'm going to start off.
Though?
Well, and Rich will not.
All right. So the Guy Fury Award for the man with the most outrageous facial hair. Fieri.
Yeah, Guy Fieri.
The guy that I thought sung Smash Mouth.
That we'll revisit that one day.
Who you asking?
Dan.
Me. The most outrageous facial hair.
And this is the nicest one.
It's a shame Braden Crossley doesn't still play.
Yeah, I do.
Fucking lived, didn't he?
Yeah,
Not Buddy's dad.
I did very much. I don't know if it's outrageous. I did very much appreciate Lockie Jones' mustache.
Yep.
Respect.
Yep.
All right. Great. We're going to get through these really quickly.
Punch him.
All right. The Feliz Navidad Award for the player who already has had his Christmas calendar whiteboard out.
Ooh,
Who's a big Christmas fan?
Who'd be a big Christmas fan?
Feliz Navidad.
It would love a little
Some of these ones. Eddie.
Eddie Guerrero.
No, I reckon it would be Bailey Smith. He's a little sweetheart of a bloke. I reckon he'd be the second Halloween finishes up. Right, the second Halloween's done. He's getting out the Christmas tree, and he's looking at the calendar.
And Christmas means warm weather, and that means
wigs out,
t-shirts off,
yes,
tan
sir.
time.
All right, Dan. The Saddle Award for the man who is dead weight to his top 8 team.
He's actually good for him, so
that's actually not a bad one. And I mean, look, I'm gonna stick with the overrated. Charles Dixon, big saddlebags Dixon.
Not bad. All right, Richie.
Todd Marshall breathing the world's biggest sigh of relief right now.
Karma's come back to bite Richie on the ass with by saying these were good questions because the Sneaky Pizza Award for a man who is known to sneak pizza on a regular basis.
You can make arguments for about 1 million blokes.
Sneaky pizza.
Who's got an absolutely slop-tastic rig at the minute? I don't want to say Buddy. We've talked about him too much thus far.
I've got one. Fullback from Melbourne.
Go on then. Stephen May. You reckon he doesn't mind a slice? I was thinking Mitch Robinson because he could hide it. He would smash down pizzas and it would fuel his rage.
Maybe that's why Stevie went down to the change. Oh, I've done Miami. Down for an early domino.
There we go. All right. The Pony Club Award for the man who is famous for riding ponies throughout the 2021 season.
What does that even mean?
The Pony Club Award.
Read between the lines.
He's got a big pipe is what he's saying.
Who's riding some ponies in 2021?
I actually reckon Nat Fyfe from country WA. He would know his way around a horse.
Yep.
I was thinking more Baz because he's ridden some ponies this year.
Oh, you mean? I see what you're saying.
Like the song.
That's
okay. All right. So
You've
now
got to be more clear about
it's
this.
the complete opposite now. It's the complete opposite now. It's the
that
Macaulay Culkin Award.
That should have been called the Leroy Pipe Award.
The Macaulay Culkin Award. It's the complete opposite. The man who is home alone, hence the name, and not famous for riding ponies.
The Josh Bootsma Award.
Yeah, he's having a cold Christmas.
Yeah.
All right,
the Jacob Bevis Award. I didn't realise.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
Oh, no, it could be Harry Schonberg, I reckon. I just don't think there's too many ponies out there, quote unquote, that just enjoy coming home to a house that smells of KFC from the front door to the back.
Genuinely certain he's got a girlfriend, but
love it, Shonners.
Have you seen her?
Well, no.
There you go. I'm not saying she doesn't exist. I'm just saying I haven't seen her.
Speaking of girlfriends, it's the time for the Caroline Wilson Award.
Here we are.
The man or woman who has been the most annoying throughout the whole year.
It's got to be Jacob Desmond. It can't not be Jacob Desmond.
Nah, I'll give it special. This one locked up comfortably by one of AFL media's most renowned personalities, Cooper Gretsch.
Yeah, well
Shout
done.
out, Booper. All right,
comfortably locked up.
Alrighty. The Andrew McLeod Award for the greatest Indigenous man of 2021.
Oh, I like that award. That's a nice award.
He initially called it the Albert Namatjira Award, and I said, what does that have to do with anything?
I like that, though.
He's a good painter.
Very much so.
He was.
Albert.
I want to give it to Nob Pickett. My man.
Oh, yeah.
The nephew of Byron. Cozzy Pickett.
He's going to kick.
Actually,
you're going to find out next week what I think of Nob.
He's had an absolute blinder.
Norm Nob.
All right. Speaking of knobs, the Loch Ness Monster Award. The man who has been seen less than the Loch Ness Monster this year.
Gary Rowan.
Oh,
fair.
Depends where you're looking.
In that final, absent.
Well, that's true.
You could have searched every square centimetre of Loch Ness and you would not have found him.
No, indeed. That's a nice one from you.
All right, Richie. The Tickle Tickle Lol Award For the funniest bloke of the year, it can be a moment.
You knew he had to throw it in.
But did he though?
You knew he had to do it to him.
Did he though?
The
No.
Tickle Tickle LOL Award. Who is the funniest bloke of the year? It can be a moment or a person, just in general.
The funniest bloke of the year.
Nothing to do with tickle culture, by the way.
See, if this was years gone by, I'd say blokes like Jeremy Finlayson. Man loves throwing a shoe.
He punched the goalpost. That was funny.
This year?
Yeah.
Jeremy Finlayson then.
Done.
Who punches a goalpost?
All right. We've got
Jeremy
two
Finlayson
more.
does, that's who.
We've got two more. It's one each. We've got the Carl Award for the man who is most like the name Carl.
Carl Award.
This is the worst you've ever done. And you've done some this is bad.
Straight off the bat, Harry Cunningham.
That'll do.
Done.
Pretty bland and
All
boring.
right. And we're going to finish off with a strong one. The German Economy Award.
What
He
is
told me
this?
about this.
Oh, so save the worst for last, did he?
The man who shops the most at Audi.
You are a dead shit, aren't you? Unbelievable. Who shops at Aldi the most? I reckon Dave Mundy.
Yeah, he probably does actually.
Did he strike you as an Aldi shopper?
Yeah.
I don't know what I mean by that.
Like
though.
that. Just those cheap spring rolls.
My answer would have been any of the shit kickers at Sydney who are not getting paid enough due to Buddy's contract.
Sam Wicks. That's Dave Mundy. I think he just likes the atmosphere there.
Absolutely.
I think he just likes it there.
Absolutely.
Oh, that makes me low. All right. Well, we've got
Got a job there. Well, works there after training.
That's so funny. Well, we've got three more awards to punch out quickly, don't we, Rich?
We've got a couple.
Three more, baby.
We've got a couple. We're gonna swerve away from the absolute nonsense and bollocks that's been dished up to us. We're now going to get into a bit of meat and potatoes, fellas. Now we've given 3, 2, 1 votes in all of our awards thus far this evening. It is no secret here that the Armchair Advisors, we're not the biggest fans of most journalists getting around out there. So we have had a look, and we're going to give a media best and worst award. Best media operator in your opinion, but also who has absolutely dropped the bundle big time this year in the media. I'm going to kick things off a minute. In terms of best, my best one, Jason Dunstall. I love that man. Every time he's on TV.
Great year.
It has been a great year, but every time he's on the screen or on radio, he's got something insightful to say. He doesn't need to hold the floor, right? Doesn't need to be the big man in the room. Mm-hmm. He knows his pedigree and where he's come from. He doesn't need to speak, but when he does, it's quality. And measured, calm, sensible. Love him.
Well, and not only that, but he always just manages to just sprinkle in a couple of little zingy one-liners and there as well, and it just gives it a sort of a homely feel to any program you're watching.
Bit of heart.
He loves to drive by.
Yeah, whereas Kingies and all that, they're just analysis and stats and blah. Dunstall, a little bit, but also
loves a drive-by.
Does.
My best for the year is Matthew Richardson.
Okay.
Because he's been sneaking. Well, he does his thing. Everyone loves Richo, and if you don't, then people probably don't like you. It's a
valid point.
It's a fair point. But he's actually joined up with Sportsbet this year, and so it's interesting to see him do his. He's not a commentator per se, and if he has commentated, I haven't listened to many games, if not any. But his media work has been perfect. And the Sportsbet stuff has been really funny for me, and I've enjoyed him dabbling in between the two because he's slowly, throughout the year, his Sportsbet personality has slowly crept into his media, which is what I like to see. So he started off as, it was almost like two different, you got Eddie Brock and Venom, for those Spider-Man fans out there.
Brilliant.
Now it's just one. Now he's just
Bones.
Now he's just
Agent Venom.
Now it's just Vok.
Vok.
I kind of wish I'd said Dunstall now.
Dunstall's the man.
Mine goes to James Brayshaw. I think he had a great year commentating. Yeah. He's always good on Triple M as well. Very, very funny individual. And I think personally, I enjoy his commentary more than anybody else. He's insightful, yet
but he's not
funny.
annoying. I don't listen to the game and think, this sucks. Like, I hate this. Turn it off.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people that don't like JB. I've always liked JB.
I don't get that.
I've always liked JB.
Good caller. Straight down the middle. Bang.
Yep.
Absolutely. And like I said, he's just similar to Dunstall. Just a couple of little sprinkles. Doesn't mind a
he's
drive
a
by
funny-
either.
he
And
would
not
be a
only
funny
that,
bloke.
but on the rub and all that sort of bits and bobs, he loves to just sprinkle in a little bit and just set everyone on each other.
I agree. Yes.
And then sit back, hands behind the head.
Watch the conflagration burn.
Watch the chaos. Very good.
Worst on.
Worst. All
Worst
right, well,
on in the media. Worst on for 2021.
I've got some honourable mentions. So Sam Edmund for the whole debacle, but Sam Edmonds bleeds into the entire AFL media that reposted that, because if you don't know what you're talking about, then don't post it.
I'm just going to call it Barmgate
Don't
and move
post
on.
it. Caroline Wilson for being a bully, and that I've never said that out loud, but that is and
That's
I
a
feel
fair
awkward
label.
saying that.
There's one thing the advisors hate. It is bullies.
Yeah.
Big fat bully, but Dermot Burton for me. because he has been the worst commentator I've ever heard in my life, and I love Dermot Brereton, but some of his points and some of his comments on things, it's just like the fighting and like
that is genuinely bold. For
I'm
you.
really stunned
I'm
at
floored.
that. I'm
things
really
that
stunned.
Dermy did in his career, and that I would have loved if he grew up. Like I would have had the hair like Dermy if I'd grown up in that era. The things that he did really well and put his stamp on games, he's chatting shit about it now. Shut up, mate. And he's trying so hard.
I think that's though because he genuinely knows that what he did has probably shortened the lives of
Multiple
some people.
men.
And I think he's just speaking from a place of actual knowledge.
Stick
on
to
some of those
Getaway,
situations.
man. I liked listening to him when he went to Disney World and he went to like snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef. I liked listening to him then. A footy game? No.
Does
Bam.
It is a little hypocritical, but
He's so annoying.
mine just goes to Caro, as you rightly
Caroline
said.
Wilson as well,
Bully. She's
idiot.
come up with some absolute nonsense this year. I just cannot stick her at all.
Interesting. I've gone, another bit of a left field one, Jared Waitley. I'm just wondering now, at this stage of his career, his life, his profile, if he is an AFL plant. I'm really wondering if he's being paid by AFL House to come down on the side of the AFL in every single tribunal matter, every single ruling.
He hasn't made one good call ever.
Oh, he is
He loves to slob on the AFL knob. He does.
He is
really does.
unfailingly there to say, "Oh no, the AFL got it right for this one. The AFL got it right for penalising that perfectly accurate, technically correct tackle with a 3-week penalty. That's absolutely right. What about the look of the Jared? Please, brother, please,
He's just Jared though. To be fair,
They've already done the right thing at Fox Footy by replacing Robbo, who also
he had a good year up until he went.
Sorry about the heart problems or whatever's going on, but
he had a good year
I
up
don't
until
think
he
he was
went.
horrendous.
Yeah, I agree.
Dunster was better.
Yes, agreed.
Get rid of Jared Waitley and watch the program blossom.
I'd like it to be Robbo and Dunstall, to be honest with you, because that would just be like just two bald men.
When we started,
funny about that.
When we started this, Robbo was like horrendous, and he's just slowly gotten better and better.
I genuinely think he picked his socks up.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Interesting. Little media chat there. You talked about a few moments for this year that stuck out. It could be, and you mentioned in your scramble could be a moment or a player. Fellas, do we have any moments of the year that stuck out? Anything that occurred during 2021 that you're like, that is brilliant. That is an absolute moment.
Absolutely. For me, I don't think you can actually look past this moment. I reckon it was far and away the greatest moment in the AFL season. Has to be Max Gawn kicking the winning goal after the siren to win the minor premiership.
Just wait there. What is my? I've done a 3-2-1 for this. What is my number 3?
He's given 3 votes. Is that 3 votes?
Yeah, 3 votes.
3 votes to Gawn match winner v Geelong.
Winning.
Greatest moment of the decade.
I did say before that winning the minor premiership doesn't mean a lot in terms of when we were talking about Geelong and Chris Scott being overrated, but winning the minor premiership when Melbourne haven't won it for so long, in Geelong, from Geelong, elite. After the siren kick, first in Melbourne's entire history,
44 points down.
Incredible, absolutely incredible moment. Sport, not just AFL, sport does not get any better than that. That was peak.
They win the flag, and that becomes one of the. That's just. I can't even put it into words. One of the best moments in. Potentially, it's etched in AFL history, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Punch out your 3, Des. What do you got?
All right, my 3.
You had
So
Gawn?
Gawny was my number 1.
Yep.
I had Caleb Sarong's goal against West Coast because that gave me that. I watched that game and they were like just going hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were just going hard, and it was very similar to Freo and Richmond, which were almost another moment because the last 8 minutes of Freo and Richmond had me realizing had me remembering why I love footy so much. It was just unreal.
It was
just
unreal, and it was a great finish.
And
too.
Sarong doing that, everyone wanted Freo to win unless you're Jason Morgan. And even then, I feel like he was pretty happy with that Sarong goal. So he got my 2 votes. And number 1, I'm betting from the heart here. It is a betting show, by the way, but I'm talking from the heart here. Crows beating Melbourne. Oh, Crom beating Melbourne. Guess what? If Melbourne win the flag this year, we're beating the flag. We're beating the Premiers.
A nice little biased touch
lol.
to it. I don't hate it.
Lol. Oh, you can't not because it was just
No
non-Crows fans, unless you're a port boy or girl, you gotta love it.
No
Everyone
harm in a
would
bit
have
of
loved
bias.
So Maxi Gawn's already got it wrapped up.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Gawny's-
God, yeah. I didn't have Max in my 3-2-1 at all.
interested to hear yours.
Now, my 1 vote went to the Crows winning in round 1 against Geelong.
And that was I was tossing.
Yeah.
I was tossing between Geelong and
There's some
Adelaide.
sprinklings of some bias in here, but I like
No,
it.
but that was just
like it.
far and just the sheer joy on the players' face as well, because they didn't believe they were going to win.
Nobody
that game.
did.
No one did.
No one.
it
Even
was-
you
it was-
wouldn't have given
No.
him a Des dog.
No,
In
I
a
bet on
million
Geelong.
years. Yeah.
I bet on Geelong at like $6 because I thought they were going to come back.
You did, and I dare say you're not mad that you lost that money.
No, not at all.
Second, the Giants win in the elimination final over Sydney. I thought to that point that was one of the best games I'd seen for the year.
Yeah.
And the lead-in, the Giants, how they battled, man, every week for like 6 weeks prior was an elimination final for them, and then to get in and knock off rivals in Sydney on the road, after having been on the road for a good, 2 months straight, I just thought that was really nice.
Yeah. Late.
And my 3 votes went to the Kangas getting their first win against the Hawks down in Tassie.
Nice.
All the boys and all the staff as well getting around in the massive giant 60-person circle in the rooms afterward. COVID can get back and belting the song out. And when the siren went, like just rivers have come flowing from all of them, and rightly so, deservedly so, and well done.
Full Randy Marsh mode. I'm actually quite surprised though you didn't give one vote to Gawn.
No, 'cause I knew you two were going to do it.
I genuinely thought that was
fantastic
like,
moment.
yeah, absolutely.
It was indeed.
3 very nice moments anyway.
3 very nice moments. Let us now look. We're going to get on to some Brownlow bets because it is coming into Brownlow season. We do love a punt on this show. Do not get us wrong. Before we get into some Brownlow bets, fellas, it is time for the last one of the year. It is, of course, our very last Dummy of the Week.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Dummy of the week.
Yes, boys, Dummy of the Week, Dummy of the Week, Dummy of the Year. It is Dummy of the Year. Fellas,
It is. It's time.
a lot of individuals have put a serious body of work together to thrust their name forward into contention as to why they should be crowned this year's Dummy of the Year. Can't remember who won it last year. Do you? Was it Robbo?
I think we gave us Robbo.
Might have been.
I think Eddie. I think Eddie won it.
Eddie did win
Eddie
it.
did win it.
Eddie
yes.
did win it.
And Eddie
Great
won
memory.
it for...
Multiple reasons.
no, it was for the steel side bottom thing, but just a whole year. It was just the whole year,
shit.
a whole year of being an idiot.
Look, boys, let's kick it off. We've got 1 vote, 2 votes, 3 votes for Dummy of the Year. Jacob Desmond Van Bus III, Junior Esquire, please.
I'm actually not going to explain mine because I'm going to let you guys explain it. But Sam Edmonds is my number 1 vote. He gets just 1 vote for me. So Sam Ed gets 1.
I love that you knew we would put him in there, so you just...
He's my 1.
That's great. He's not my
my one
one.
vote,
I
'cause he's
thought
an idiot.
the other week
That's 1 vote.
1
vote.
for me.
The other
One
week
dash.
I brought up Jared and Brownie kicking the shits over the grand final start time, so I'm giving them my 1 vote because that was just the most pathetic complaint I've ever heard.
So
Of the whole year?
15 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it was dumb.
Now, fellas, now you know my day job. I go out and I assassinate people for the government. And when I'm driving home, after a successful day's assassinations, I am listening to Triple M in the car. I'm listening to the Dead Set Legends, I think they go by, which is Andrew Drummond, Bernard Vince, and Dale Blewett.
I know where this is
Cricketing
going.
sensation.
I'm writing it down right now.
Who are you writing down, Desmond? Who are you writing down?
B. Vince, 1 vote.
B. Vince, 1 vote. And it's not, I told you boys.
And that would be one of the very few times in his career he's heard that called out as well.
Whack. Oh my God. Look, the guy holds a segment called Nuff Nuff of the Week or whatever whenever he gets to Melbourne and he gets onto the rush hour.
And the irony of this.
But it is though, he just opens his mouth and doesn't think. And he's a lad. He's a great bloke. South Australian sports royalty. But boy, oh boy, he opens the gob well and truly before the brain has been engaged. And just some of the stuff that comes out. Every week there'll be something absolutely nonsensical said, and the one that's just pushed out all other comments in my mind. I cannot think of anything else when I think Bernard Vince. Although having said that, if anyone watches The Bounce, this year they did their bounce competitions for singing and spelling and
Mate,
such.
this show is only so long.
Oh my, spelling, reading.
This is 1 vote. Come on.
Anything. No, it just hurt me. Look, he thought Kim Il-sung was pronounced Kim Tu-sung. And I can't, if that's not stupid, I don't know what is.
All right,
Hilarious.
well, number 2, I'm actually not going to explain this one either because everyone knows, and it's actually quite a serious one. But Tex Walker's getting my 2 votes because what an idiotic move. So that's all I'm saying.
Enough said.
Well, absolutely.
Amen.
I've got Sam Edmund for my number 2.
interesting.
And purely because of really one incident. I mean, he's done some other dumb bits and bobs, but
everything I see now is
the infamy of the Neil Baum incident. Have you got him in your votes?
I've got other blokes to get through first.
So if you're not going to explain it, then I will very quickly. So post-season, Crows and Richmond have both finished up. Sam Edmund reports on apparently very credible sources that Neil Baum is finishing up at Richmond and heading over to the Crows, and sends AFL Twitter, AFL media into meltdown.
The frenzy.
And then what happened?
Oh, yeah, sorry, guys. Got direct quote, got a bum steer on that one. Sometimes you get that in this caper. No, dummy. Sometimes you get a journalist that checks their sources and doesn't post absolute horse shit without checking that it's legit first.
And we're obviously a bit more biased about this being Adelaide boys, but...
It would be stupid no matter who. If I supported
Idiot.
Fremantle Dockers, mate.
Idiot.
Double, triple, check your sources.
I've got an unusual one for my 2 vote. I've given it to Nicholas Spurrier, the Chief Health Officer of South Australia. A couple of different reasons. Most recent one. Look, what was that? Western Bulldogs. You've tested negative to COVID 14 times in 25 days, and you want to come here and train before a prelim? No, I couldn't believe that. Like, what are you afraid of? Genuinely. What are you afraid? Let the boys train.
Correct.
Or just come out and say, you know what, I'm Port Adelaide proud till I die. I want the boys to get up. I am biased. If you'd have come out, I'd have given you a bit more respect.
What about the balls?
The big one, and it's Nicholas Spurrier. So if the ball gets kicked into your general vicinity, do not touch that ball, because it's going to be clearly just a giant, massive COVID cells at that point. You'll die. You'll melt like that Nazi at the end of Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Did she say Brisbane Bears as well? Or was that Gladys?
Probably.
I can believe it was Gladys, but I can
Probably
believe it was both. But what do you
mean,
mean? Don't touch the ball when it comes into the stands?
Believe
What are you on
that,
about?
when she was initially talking about this, she said, yeah, and if the ball comes into the crowd, which I do hear it happens occasionally in the AFL. Yeah, you're damn right it does. Every time they kick it through the sticks.
Not even that. Out of the like, it's in the crowd more often than it's not.
Like I said, big shout out to the guy though. I did appreciate the ball came near him.
Yeah.
Hands up now. I'm not
Good.
touching this one.
I don't want to die of
Not
COVID.
touching this one there, Dave.
I don't want to die of COVID.
All right.
3 votes,
that
Desi.
is very funny. Time for 3 votes, and Toby Green for me. Toby Green for touching an umpire. I've actually gone a very serious route on this.
Hold on.
You have.
Hold on. Touching an umpire.
I want to know what love is.
Touching an umpire.
Touching an ump.
It's very sexual.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Forget touched by an angel.
Yeah. Touched by Toby
He
Green.
very mildly hip and shouldered the umpire. Is that a fair assessment of it?
I mean, yeah.
Mildly.
Don't touch the umpires.
That's my point, and that's why.
Couldn't
he's
be
my
more
3.
clear. It's like it's been a rule since the dawn of time. It's like the only rule in the AFL that's withstood the test of time.
Don't touch that ump. Easy.
Yeah, exactly. I knew they'd wrote a song about it.
Easy.
I know.
Just don't
Not
touch
hard.
him, mate. And you've cost your team a shot to get into the granny.
A little bit of that,
Good job,
Dan.
mate.
It's going to be real interesting to see where this one goes, to be honest,
Go for
because
it.
I don't know who's going to win this award. My 3 votes goes to the disgrace to the Bartel name, Nadia.
Oh, she's not my dummy because she's done real well. She was going to be my number 3 moment of the year.
I mean, that says more about you than it does about
Yeah, but
her.
for 2 reasons.
What?
I don't want to hear none of that. You continue with what you were saying, Dan, please.
For those who don't know, no,
They don't need to know.
I'm not going to do this now.
Look it up.
Not only for the incident itself, which the height of stupidity, letting someone film you snorting slugs off a plate, a cheap Kmart plate at that. Like, have some class.
That's one of the funniest parts of the whole thing. It was a $3 Kmart plate.
Unbelievable.
I love that.
Unbelievable.
That's great.
But also the damage control afterwards. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. That's bullshit. Absolute nonsense. You meant nothing more than to put that powder up your nose.
It was a great interview that came out with her like end of last year, started this year, about how she's making better choices and she's so much more in tune with herself and she's grown up and she's wiser now and all this hog shit.
Well,
What
I've seen
nonsense.
more of Nadia Bartel in the last month than I should ever see.
Stop it! I'm trying not to get a lawsuit on our second to last show, you goomba.
That was good though.
But
was good.
I mean because she was snorting cocaine.
But
Well done.
I have appreciated that a long-time brand partners, etc., have said, well, see you later, we don't want any bar of it. I mean, you snort, you lose. Well, that's something like that anyway.
Something along those
You
lines.
snort, you
3 votes.
Stay
What
in,
have you
school,
got?
stay in school, kids. Yep.
Nadia.
Don't do school. Stay in drugs.
So at the moment we've got
What-
Edmund with 3, Green with 3, and Nadia with 3.
Well, taking it home is going to be Sam Edmonds. With
Hey, yeah.
I knew you were going to do it.
It
I
had
knew you
to
were
be.
more
It had
mad.
to be.
It had to be. I'm sorry. And he was the one that said that Rory Sloane was out of here,
Yeah.
gone, absolutely out of here. Like, does this bloke just wake up in the morning? What's a What's an AFL story I can come up with?
How can I hurt every Adelaide Crows fan?
I hear
Or
P is
lift
stored
them
in the
up?
balls. Is that right? P stored in the balls?
Why not? God, what's a? I'll tell you. I'll pick out a name, Mark Williams, and I'll pick out a location, Guatemala, and I'll pick out an occupation, a goat herder. Boom. Mark Williams is off to Guatemala to become a goat herder. Tweet, Twitter. Done.
Absolutely.
Edmonds, retire.
Sorry, got a bum steer on that one, lads. Got a bum steer.
Bow.
Just a dead shit.
It had to be. I knew that was where it was.
Oh, it's making me mad. I think we need to move on to some Brownlow votes.
Brownlow bets. It's Brownlow season. Boys, we're getting to the big one now. This is the award that all of the boys that don't get flags do get flags. It's what joins them all together. They want the Brownlow. They want to take home that highest of individual honours, the Chaz Brownlow. We've got some bets. Because we love the bets on this show. Gamble responsibly, of course. This is not financial advice, of course. But, fellas, what have you got for me? What are you bringing to the table?
I'm cutting in and getting the scissors and cutting in because I only have two.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised you got that many to tell the truth.
So am I. My lock of the week, two more than normal. My lock of the week is leader after round 5, Taylor Walker at 275. Originally, I was only going to have one bet, but Dan made me nervous. So, that is my lock of my lock of the year. He's going to be up. He was kicking pies like you wouldn't believe. People thought he was going to win the whole Brownlow.
And the column.
After that. And Darcy Parish, top 5 finish at $2.40. I really rate Darcy this year. I don't see Merritt stealing his votes. I don't see, I was going to say Max Gordon. What am I saying? I don't see Tipper. I see Tipper potentially.
But you'd be right in saying that. I don't see Max Gordon stealing Darcy Parish's
I
votes.
don't either.
Do you?
It would be unusual.
Tipper could take a couple. Hines not a big enough name to steal any of his votes. And I know Stringer's going to get some in the later games. But Parish has been the man. And so I like Parish top 5 finish 240.
It'd be very tight between him and Merritt, I think.
I personally can't get behind it, but I like the enthusiasm and I see where you're coming from.
Thanks, mate.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
Sam Walsh was also 240. I don't know if
That's
tickles your
more
fancy.
interest to you.
I was very close to pressing that button, but I am very biased with Sam Walsh, so I didn't want to pass the wisdom with bias.
That is more interesting to me. But
Nice.
please, Dan.
Right, I've got 4. So a couple of value ones, nice easy little layups to get you started. So Bont top 3 finish, $1.65. There's no chance he finishes outside the top 3. I don't think
Probably
personally.
wins it.
McRae top 10, $1.85.
Whoa.
That's good value.
I like that.
That's very good value for mine because I think that he's not going to finish top 5, but somewhere in that 6 to 10
They
range.
won heaps of games.
Absolutely.
It's not like they didn't win enough games.
And once they started talking about he's had 30 disposals in X amount of games in a row, like that sort of stuff. Umpires pay attention.
Yes,
they're
do.
looking for you. It'll happen. To be a tie for the winner this year, paying $4 currently. I actually don't reckon there's been a closer race for the Brownlow in probably the last 5 years.
Many a moon.
Yeah.
Last year, Lockie Neal, runaway. Dustin
Priggers.
Martin, runaway. There's been a couple of runaway winners the last few years. You can make a case for a handful of blokes this year. So $4 for a tie, I don't hate that.
Not done for mine, Dan.
And the last one, so Brownlow Group A. So there's a bunch of randoms thrown into a little pod. This pod contains blokes like Jack Rewalt. Trying to think, there's a couple of others. Just shit kickers. No one that's going to poll very highly. So it's going to be tight. But Ben Keys was in this group. Now, he's paying $8 at the moment. Ben Keys, as a Crows fan, had a nice year. Carl Amon is currently leading that group at $2.75. Now, you'd probably think Carl Amon will get that, but Ollie Wines is going to jag a lot of votes. Travis Boak is going to jag a lot of votes.
Aliyah is going to jag a lot
Who
of
at the
votes.
Crows
get
is
his
taking
share.
votes off him? Off Ben Keys? Rory Laird will.
Kieran Strawn.
Walker in the first
Kieran
2
Strawn
months.
absolutely will take a
Schoenberg.
lot of votes. There's probably a few guys who are going to jag a couple here and there, but not like Boak and Wines will. I could see Carl Amon getting a lot of ones, couple of 2s, maybe a 3. I could see Ben Keys jagging himself a couple of 3s and pipping Amon here.
You get a lot of 2s, I think.
bad.
No one's knocking off Laird. No one's knocking off Laird. But that's nicely done, Dan. You've done well.
Thanks, mate.
Desmond, you're also here in the room. First things first.
As always.
Yeah, look, for Brownlow, Wines is paying $3, and that's just easy money for mine. Because you can make cases for other blokes, but
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be so pissed if Wines win that now. Because that
Continue.
Geelong losing costing me $3,000.
Is that your last leg?
I hate that.
it's going to be what it's going to be.
I know.
And I think Wines is getting that
So do
win.
I.
If you want Wines and Clayton Oliver to tie, $17.
Not bad.
Good crack.
$17.
Good crack.
That's very interesting to me. I'm just keeping a little peephole on that one, I can tell you much. Now, a few things you can chuck in if you're doing your multis, if you've just got a couple of grand you just want to whack onto a single leg here and there, go your hardest. I've found a few things that I really like the look of. Let me tell you why. First things first, Jordan De Goey, most Collingwood votes, is paying $1.70. Okay?
Nice.
He's the second highest odds in the Collingwood squad there.
Behind Crisp.
No, Taylor Adams is $3.20.
Ah.
And he only played about 16 games
What's
this
Crisp
year.
paying?
He,
You don't know?
He was doldrums.
Because I feel like Crisp had a very good season. You would know. He was in your fantasy team for the whole year.
And he was locked. He was locked in that back line, and that's where
And he was having a pretty nice season. So I'd be surprised if he doesn't poll well. I reckon Collingwood could be a bit of a close one.
Brownlow teams.
For the
Give me
Pies
2
there,
seconds.
Duck.
Most votes Pies.
This
Jordan De
big-
Goey $1.70. Taylor Adams $3.20. Jack Crisp $8.
$8 is good value.
Wackadoodle.
Best player.
Good value, mate. I like that.
That is very interesting. Okay, let's get back to what I've had a look at. Now, here you go. To poll a vote, a single vote, and there's a lot of mileage to be
A lot of
squeezed out
votes
of.
to go around.
Yes, sorry, Bob. Let me kick you off with Isaac Cumming.
Yes,
My man.
He should.
What's he paying?
I'll get there. All right. Now, it's not high odds, but again, I'm saying if you want to whack this into a multi, you could do worse. He's paying $1.45 for a vote.
Yep.
In round 21, he had 34 touches against Geelong.
He'll absolutely get it.
He's getting a vote.
He'll get a vote.
That's $1.45.
Even if it's not that game. He had some really, really nice games this year.
That's a layup.
One
for
vote.
me.
One vote is all we ask.
A
Comers.
single stinking vote.
Just one.
Also looking at Harry Schonberg. Had 31 disposals against Port in round 21. Now, obviously, Wine's going to get the dub on that one, but Schonberg,
A vote's not out of the question.
a vote's not out of the question, and that's paying $1.83 Schonberg to get a vote.
Don't hate it.
Schonberg's had better. I even think about had a bit of a stutter then, had a bit of a potato moment. But Schonberg against West Coast, I know West Coast ran him out the park, but Schonberg was the best player on the field at the time. You don't know. Umpires have done stupid things before.
Talk to Matt Prittis about it.
Talk to Andrew McLeod about it.
That let's not go down that. That still makes me mad. All right, Dyson
wasn't
Heppel.
born.
Dyson Heppel to plug a vote is $1.75 at the moment.
That's
Now,
great value.
He had 28 touches against GWS in round 19, all from the back half, and I mean deep in that back half. They generated all of their run and rebound directly out of Heppel. He's absolutely getting a vote in that game.
I like that.
Great vote.
Also thinking Shannon Hearn, $1.83 for a vote.
He'll get a vote.
He had 31 against the Suns in round 1. Behind Sheed in that game as the leading disposal winner.
Well, you'd
on
expect
field.
him and McGovern to get at least one.
McGovern?
McGovern might get a vote.
McGovern was stinky this year.
Watch
He almost made it into my most underrated list.
Watch him.
Overrated.
Watch McGovern
Overrated,
get a
sorry.
vote against Adelaide. McGovern hurt us so bad.
That will probably be his only one. Lockie Ash had 35 disposals against the
did.
Bulldogs in round 6. He was second behind McRae for disposal getters on the field that day. He's paying $2 for a single vote.
Nice.
A single vote, which is very, very interesting to me. I've got a few Brownlow head-to-heads. Want to get your opinion on these ones, boys. Who do you think's getting it? Clayton Oliver.
Let's go quick here because we're running real long.
It's our show. We can do what we
We're
want.
running long and I don't like it.
Ah, you'll live.
I need to sleep.
Clayton Oliver, Jack Steele. Who's polling the most?
Oliver.
Oliver.
Petrarca and Sam Walsh.
Walsh.
No, when you're in.
Track.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that. Josh Kelly and David Mundy.
Munfoss.
I'm thinking Kelly.
Kelly.
I'm going Kelly. Martin and De Goey.
Martin. Dustin.
Dustin
Yeah,
Martin,
Martin.
Jordan De Goey.
Martin. What's he paying? What's Martin
That'd be
paying?
close.
What's Martin paying?
That'd be real close.
Martin's $1.17 to get a vote. He is $1.50 to beat Jordan De Goey in terms of
Yeah,
votes.
he'll beat Degoe.
I'll say him.
Umpires love him. Umpires suck him.
My point.
Parrish and Mitchell.
Parish.
I think Tom Mitchell.
Titch.
I think Tom Mitchell. Nat Fife and Libber
Oh, Libber.
Liber.
on that. Tim Keller and Libber is paying $2.03
What's
there.
Parish? What's Parish in there?
Parrish there. No, that one there. Parrish is $1.82.
Oh, so they heard their
That's interesting.
it's Tickler.
Trav Boak and Zach Merritt.
Merritt.
Oh,
They got some good ones here.
Merritt easy.
easy.
That's a big call. It's a huge call.
Aaliyah has something to say.
Merit.
Don't mind
Just.
Merritt. What about Sean Darcy and Brody Grundy? Darcy's got it from
Darcy.
mine. Darcy all the way to the bank. Lockie Neal, Bailey Smith. I think Bailey Smith would
Baz.
agree.
Baz because he's
Just
a
played more
well-known
games.
Thank you. Toby Green, Lance Franklin.
buddy. Easily.
That's actually a curly one.
I don't know. Buddy. Buddy, because every time Buddy kicked like 2 or 3 goals, I'll give Buddy.
I'll say Toby.
Last one, Tim Kelly versus Tim Taranto.
The Tarantulas had a better year.
Tarantula.
Nice and easy one.
Tailed off towards the end, but
Tailed off towards the
He'll
end.
get there.
And so have we, which is meaning that it's time,
Both
fellas.
nights off. It's been itching my neck this whole time,
Oh,
baby.
I reckon it's pub. I reckon it's
Pub and
pub
beers.
time. Yeah. Look, we've had the awards night. Now it's time for us to go full Favola mode and be absolute pests. Thank you for joining us for our AFL Armchair Advisors Awards night. We will see you next week for our last show, our grand final show.
Don't forget
Like
to
and subscribe. Like and subscribe it. We will see you next week.
Cobbers.